Hi everybody, we're back with module 3 and this is entitled How Dogs Learn. Yeah, it's really important if we want to change a dog's behavior that we know how they learn so that we can do something about it and teach them something new, something better, something that we want them to do. So in the last module we looked at why your dog doesn't do the things that we want him to do, why they don't listen. Yeah, and that's because dogs are selfish. I don't mean that in a nasty way, I don't mean that dogs want to take over the world and make us sleep in the yard. Yeah, dogs just like what they like, yeah, and if we understand that, then we can use that information to get them to do stuff that we want them to do instead. So let's continue with this module where we're going to be learning all about how dogs learn. So there are two main ways that your dog learns things, and this applies to almost any dog as well. The first way is the breeding. Yeah, dogs do certain things because of the type of breed that they are. And we know that dogs were bred to do many different diverse jobs to help us humans, over the last few hundred years. Yeah, some dogs were bred to hunt, some dogs were bred to point and to find birds, some dogs were bred to herd and help us with cattle, some dogs were bred to guard things, yeah, and many other jobs in between that as well. And once you understand what your own dog was bred to do, or even if you have a mongrel, yeah, it might be a mix of breeds, yeah, some of the breed characteristics are going to come through. But if you have a particular type of dog, then it's very likely that they will display certain kinds of breed characteristics. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why beagle owners traditionally struggle with recall and letting their dog off lead. Yeah, if they haven't done a lot of recall training with the dogs. Yeah, because the dogs were bred to just get on the scent of something and run and chase that scent for many miles. Yeah, which, and that type of behavior obviously isn't very conducive to owning a pet dog. So we need to make sure that we put training steps in place. So we teach the dog other things so that the breed characteristics don't come out too much. And many of us own pedigree dogs these days. Obviously, pedigree dogs are, they're beautiful. They're lots of hunting dogs and working gun dogs. They're very handsome. So a lot more people own these type of dogs these days than they used to, maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago. But not many of us really understand and provide an outlet for those breed characteristics. And if we don't provide an outlet for them, then that, the behavior can manifest itself in destructive ways, and breed problems, behavior problems can occur if we don't provide an outlet for the dog's breed characteristics. Yeah, so that's breeding, yeah, and breeding plays a big part, but it's not the only part as well, yeah, otherwise none of us will be able to own a dog that only exhibited its breed characteristics, yeah, there are other ways that dogs learn as well. And as we previously touched upon in the last module, yeah, dogs learn by doing, yeah, dogs do what works, and if they do something and it's pleasurable for the dog, then there's a high chance that we'll get the dog to do that again. And there's a little story that I can tell you now which will quite nicely demonstrate exactly what I mean. So let's say, for example, you were having a barbecue with some friends one day. It's a nice summer's day, everyone's around having a good time, enjoying a few beers and some burgers and some steaks and some pork chops on the barbecue. Yeah, then the barbecue finishes and everybody goes home, and on the evening you let your dog out to go to the toilet. And your dog wanders over to the barbecue because it smells quite nice there. And on the floor, he finds a nice little piece of steak. So he has a quick look around. Yeah, no one can see him, so he gobbles it up. Ah, very tasty, thinks the dog. That was very nice. I very much enjoyed that, and I'll definitely come back to this place again. So you call your dog in, and then the next time you let him out for a wee, obviously the dog remembers that he got a piece of a burger the last time he went over to that area where he was, so he goes over there again. But this time he can't find anything. Yeah, but when he roots around a little bit, he finds a little piece of bacon hidden behind a plant pot that somebody else dropped as well. And so the dog is rewarded again for going to that particular part of the garden. Now, if you were to let the dog out again, and he would go there again and find something tasty too, yeah, that would be 3 times that the dog's gone out, and there will be a high likely chance that every time you let your dog out for a wee from then on, he'll make a beeline for that area where the barbecue was, because the dog was being rewarded for going there. Yeah, he wasn't necessarily being rewarded by us, but he was being rewarded because he was getting something that the dog liked. Yeah, it was a tasty bit of steak. Obviously, if there was bits of mango or whatever, or pineapple lying around, it's not very likely that your dog's going to enjoy that. Yeah, but if there's something there that the dog finds rewarding and he finds pleasurable, then he's going to want to do that again. He's going to want to go to that place again. He's going to want to experience that again, and he will make an effort to go there and to to have more good things that he likes. Now we can use this information to teach our dog almost anything that we want. But what it does is it quite nicely highlights the fact that dogs are learning all of the time. Yeah, dogs can learn, as long as it's dogs finding it pleasurable, then it's highly likely that the dog is going to want to do that again. So if the dog learns that he goes to the park and he plays with other dogs and the dog enjoys that, or if he learns that he goes to the woods and he gets to chase squirrels, yeah, then the dog enjoys that. Or he learns that when walking down the street, he could eat some poo and the dog enjoys that, then that's the thing that he's going to want to do, yeah? Doesn't necessarily mean that we want him to do it, but it's something that the dog is definitely going to enjoy to do. If we understand that the dog does what he enjoys doing, yeah, the more that we can involve ourselves in how the dog enjoys himself, then the more control we're going to have over the dog, the more the dog's going to look to us, and the easier the dog is going to be to control and train. And this brings me nicely onto the first exercise that I'm going to show you. And this is something that you can practice with your dog 10, 15, 20 times a day. You can do it at home or outside, and you should do it at home and outside as well. This is the start of you retraining your dog, yeah, that you are an interesting person. And we're going to use that. We're going to start with A. Yeah, it all starts with A, starts with attention. We're going to try and get our dog's eye contact on us, and we're going to reward him for that with praise, affection, toys, treats, or whatever it is that our dog likes. We're going to start off with a bit of praise, and I'm going to call Barry, my dog, to board over, and hopefully Barry's going to look at me, and then I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here we go. Barry! Barry! Come on, Barry! Come on! Oh, big sigh. Good boy, Barry. What a good boy. What a clever lad he is. You don't look very happy. So you can see there, yeah, by calling Barry's name and by saying his name and getting him to come over and by giving him some affection, yeah, I can easily, I'm starting to teach Barry and get that association going with him that by looking at me and coming towards me, something good is going to happen, yeah? Barry! Oh, he wants a tummy rub now. Good. So eye contact is really, really, really important. And it's a dead easy thing that you can teach your dog and that you can show your dog, and it's a great starting point for you when you want to get your dog's focus or get your dog's attention is eye contact. Yeah. So just saying your dog's name when he looks at you, tell him he's a good boy, encourage him to come towards you, give him some affection. Yeah, we're going to move on to using toys and treats and things like that soon. Yeah, but just saying your dog's name and getting him to come towards you is the foundation of everything that we're going to be teaching here, really. Yeah, a lot of dog trainers say that the most important thing to teach your dog is a stop, or things like that, or a leave it. Yeah, and those are important, but I like to teach my dogs, and I teach dogs that we exercise every day on our adventures, that when I say their name, something good's going to happen. Yeah, and if I do that and my dog comes towards me and I can reward him, yeah, then this is gonna increase the bond between me and my dog, because he's gonna enjoy it. He's gonna get a lot of pleasure out of it, and he's gonna want to do it again. Yeah, he's gonna associate me saying his name with a good thing, and that's something that you should be doing with your dog every day too. Okay, so that's eye contact, and eye contact is really, really important, but it's easier for us to get eye contact if the dog really, really wants to look at us and the dog really, really associates us with the things that he really likes. Yeah, and this can be more difficult, obviously, in the park than it can be in the home because there's more distractions there. So this next part is going to be a bit of a secret weapon that you guys can use to find out exactly what your dog likes. Yeah, this is something that all the best dog trainers in the world do, and it's something that I teach on my online course, and it's something that I also talk about a lot in my book, How to Be Your Dog Superhero. And there's actually a separate part of an additional course that you can purchase on Udemy as well, called How to Find Your Dog's Kryptonite, when I go into much more detail about this, yeah? But what we're going to do next is we're going to do a dog audit. And then the dog audit, we're going to find out exactly what our dogs like, and then we're going to use that information to get them to do things that we want them to do.